Today, I want to talk about a debt validation letter. Today, I want to explain to you what it is, when it is best to be used, and some inside information about the letter that I only know as a former debt collector. Also, for those of you who stay till the end, there will be a prize. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection companies. Over the last 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit. Now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Flat out, I'm just going to tell you, flat out. Debt collectors hate when you send a debt validation letter. The biggest reason is it delays their chances to collect money, and delaying their chances to collect money delays their chances of getting commission. So let's get right into it. What is a debt validation letter? A debt validation letter is a letter that debt collectors must provide that includes information about the size of your debt, when to pay it, and how to dispute it. A debt collection letter essentially proves you owe the debt to a debt collection company. Understand, it's similar to a demand letter. For those of you who don't know what a demand letter is a little different, right? It's that letter that you get in the mail if you've ever owed on any debt. It basically has a company letterhead. It shows actually who you owe. It shows the original account number. It shows the balance that's owed on that account and so forth with regards to the account. That is different, right? When you get a demand letter, you can actually still request a debt validation letter. And later I will explain that. Understand as a consumer, just because you receive a demand letter, that is not proof that you actually owe the debt. Typically, your demand letter will basically say that you have 30 days to dispute the validity of the debt. And if you don't dispute it, then they would assume that you actually owe the debt, and that's when they can actually place it on your credit. If you're brand new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. And for those of you who have liked and subscribed to this channel, I want to give you a special thank you. Now I want to give you 3 reasons why you will want to use a debt validation letter and the best times to actually use a debt validation letter. The first time is when a debt collector calls you, right? If they call you and they get you on the phone, I know most of us are just going to ignore the calls. But for those of you who actually pick up the phone and speak to an actual debt collector, that is a great time to actually send a debt validation letter. Now, what you're going to want to do is obviously when you get them on the phone, a lot of times they're going to want to verify your phone number, verify where you live. They want to verify information to make sure that they don't disclose the information with regards to this debt to a third party because it's against the law. So once you finally get through all of that minutia and you answer all those questions, now it becomes your time to ask questions. Don't let that debt collector ask you a bunch of questions and then bully you into paying right off the bat. I know that that's what a lot of collectors will do. But before you get to that, you ask them questions about the debt. And one of the things you're going to want to ask is for an email address to them, or an actual physical address to where they're calling from. Email is always better because you have a record of actually sending them that debt validation letter with regards to the debt. When you're mailing it, obviously, if you send it certified, you're going to have an actual proof that they actually got it in the time frame because you get that 16-digit tracking number. But if you mail it regular mail, I don't recommend doing that after talking to them and getting their address because they can delay it. I've worked at companies where they'll get a debt validation letter in the mail with a regular stamp and they'll just throw it to the side, right? Because there's no proof that you actually sent it, right? So they can easily tell you, we never received the letter in the mail. The second best way is when you actually get a demand letter in the mail. right? So that letter that most people get, and you know it owes, it's in a different color, whatever the circumstance is, and you throw it away. Don't throw it away. Open that up. It's a demand letter. Once you get that information, then right off the bat, because as we know, a lot of times when you call a debt collection company, they verify all the information with regards to you, but they a lot of times, out of 10 debt collection companies, there are about 4 or 5 that don't want to verify information from them because they know that you're up to something. So when you get that demand letter, it already has the company letterhead on there. It has the address to them. A lot of times there'll be post office boxes. That's okay. And once you get that demand letter, send the debt validation letter right off the bat. Right off the bat, when you get that demand letter, send it to them. That'll buy you some time, about 30 days, because they'll have to get the information that you're requesting with regards to that debt validation letter. And a lot of times when you send it that way, if you do send them a debt validation letter, there will be companies out there that don't have the information. And what happens? They'll cease collections on that debt, even though you actually may owe that account. The third time to send a debt validation letter is when you're served with a summons to appear in court. When you're served with the summons to appear in court, I know it can be very scary. One of the things that I always recommend you do is you send a debt validation letter to 2 places. When you file an answer, once you're served, you have to file an answer, right? When you file an answer, add a debt validation letter in that. Also, mail or email a debt validation letter to the company that's actually suing you. Typically, when a debt collection company is going to sue you, they'll hire, if they have an in-house attorney, then everything will be done in-house. If they have to hire an attorney outside, then you want to send the debt validation letter to the actual collection company and that attorney that's actually trying to sue you, as well as when you're filing an answer for your actual summons, if you get served with the summons to appear in court. Those are the 3 best ways with regards to sending a debt validation letter, and it makes the most sense to send it at those time spans. Now, I want to give you one big con that can happen when you send a debt validation letter to an actual debt collection company. Understand something. That debt collector has the power to settle your accounts. There are debt collectors out there, when you send them a debt validation letter, because it slows down their money, it slows down their process. I've been one of those guys at one point. When we verify the debt for you 30 days later, chances are there are debt collectors that will not settle out your account. So I want you to understand that. I'm not saying not to send the debt validation letter, but I'm telling you to understand, once you start making the debt collector and the debt collection company jump through some hoops, which legally they have to do so, they can become a little harder and sterner when it comes to your settlement. You owe $3,000, they'll tell you, we're not accepting a settlement, we need the $3,000. Or they'll allow you to make monthly payments, but they're not going to give you a settlement. Be sure to check out all the cool stuff down below. You know, we have a free consultation. We have Debt Negotiator Pro, my first digital product. Check that out if you're looking at negotiating your debt. Now, for every one of you guys who stayed till the end, first of all, I want to say thank you. Now, the gift for you is down below. There's a link called a free letter bundle. If you click that link and opt in absolutely for free, you'll get a debt validation letter. Not only will you get a debt validation letter, you're going to get a total of 4 letters, including the debt validation letter. You will get the free pay to delete letter, you will get a cease and desist letter, and a goodwill letter absolutely for free to help you out on your credit journey. If you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And like I always state, you be great.